I am so excited for this little guy. I have never seen a little puppy so he's got some gumption. So he's the first to come to you when you come in the enclosure. They're it's a play date outside. It's a beautiful day, so I'll bring him inside later. But he is the first one to run up to me. If you come up to him and he doesn't see you coming, he'll immediately start barking and he'll run after you like he knows protection. And he's so little. It's like 5 weeks old, and he thinks he's like the guardian of the house. It's hilarious. But one of the things that I wanted to point out with Dobermans is he shows a lot of potential, but a lot of times people who've never owned a Doberman before, they don't realize that, oh, sorry, baby, that their strengths also double as their weakness. So you can have a Dobie that is like extraordinarily, sorry, gotta sit down, extraordinarily protective, shows potential, and they can turn out to be one of the biggest cowards if you do not raise them correctly. So when you have one that shows potential for protection, like this one does, where he will bark at you if you scare him, you have to be careful to make sure that they are socialized appropriately. The best analogy that I like to give is a lion. So you have a lion is not a lion without the mane, without the claws, without the teeth. His pros also double as his cons. So you have a majestic lion. That's what makes them look majestic. So those are the good things about him. Well, the con is he's got teeth and claws, and he's hugely powerful. So you have to have respect for the animal. Well, a Doberman, their pros also double as their cons. Their pros are they're extraordinarily intelligent, they're they're protective, and they're extraordinarily intelligent, they're protective, and they have the teeth and the claws. So that's their pros. The con for a Dobie is they're extraordinarily protective, they're intelligent, and they have the teeth and the claws. So while he shows the potential to be a fantastic dog, he's going to need the right upbringing, which means he's going to need to be socialized appropriately. It's one of my biggest pet peeves about there are some other people who are in the protection world that think that, oh, well, you want your dog to be protective. You don't want them to be familiar with people. You want them to be suspicious of people. You don't want them to be around a lot of people. That is the opposite of what you want. People who cultivate that type of environment growing up, they're raising a fearful dog. You want your dog to be fearless, not afraid of anything, not afraid of strangers. They should be able to tell body language. How are they going to judge body language if they never interact with people? They never watch them at the park. They never go anywhere. They've never seen strangers. They don't know what's suspicious behavior and what's not. They don't know what they should be worried about and what they shouldn't be worried about. A well-socialized Doberman can read body language of people and say, okay, this one's up to no good, or this one's just afraid and I don't need to worry about them. There are so many different little nuances when it comes to protection, and you don't just want a dog that's afraid of everything, like just going to bark at everything, because what if you have a visitor? What if your neighbor wants to come talk to you and the dog is afraid of everything, so he's going to bark at everything? The other problem is when you have a coward as your protector, they are very, very hard to predict how they're going to protect you. They're just as likely to run away as they are to charge. And if they do charge, they're not going to charge with their head on their shoulders. They're just going to be charging out of fear, so there might not even be any reason at all for them to react aggressively, but they're just going to do it because they are afraid that something bad's going to happen, and they'd rather handle it before it escalates instead of waiting to see if this person actually is going to become a problem. So socializing your Doberman is extraordinarily important. Even when you have ones that are confident out of the gate, all the more reason to make sure that they're exposed to as many positive influences or experiences as possible, because the more confident your Dobie is, the better protector, the easier it is going to be to train them. My name is Amy Arthur. I am your Doberman breeder and guide. My goal is to improve the Doberman bloodline and help owners become the best that they can be at taking care of this amazing breed. So if you have questions about the breed, if you have questions about training or ownership or any of those things, please just leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer your questions.